to do is put the equation into y equals mx plus b form, meaning it needs to be looks like this. It needs to have a y equals something x plus some number. So y equals something x plus some number. Y equals something x plus or minus some number. This one is not y equals, right? So I need to change that one and I need to change that one. Plot the y-intercept. Okay, so remember, y equals, this is the y-intercept right here.
This is a listening check. Underline the title y-intercept.
Okay, so that's the slope, that's the y-intercept. So you look at this and it says plot the y-intercept. Which one is the y-intercept? The plus b. So positive 3 is the y-intercept. So positive 3, 1, 2, 3, that's the y-intercept. So it says plot the y-intercept. All right, then it says use slope to create more points. And how you're creating points is rising and running. So slope, remember, is the one before the x, okay? So remember, so I guess you're just gonna put a star here. You might need an invisible.
This is a listening check. Color in this entire sentence.
One, or make it a fraction. Okay, so you might need an invisible one or to make it a fraction, okay? So use slope to create more points. So remember, before the x is a slope. So what's before the x here? You have negative before the x, right? So you might need to make an invisible one, so that's like an invisible 1. And you also need to make it a fraction, so that's going to be invisible 1 over 1. So it's negative 1 over 1. And that's how you're rising and running. So you take this point and then you do rise and run. So negative 1, so remember slope. So I guess change in y over change in x. So always remember the top number is y, the bottom number is x. So negative 1 means I go down 1, and then positive 1 means I go right 1. Did you make a point? So down 1, right 1. Down 1, right 1. And you can make a line that way, okay? If you don't have a ruler, just take a credit card or your school ID, and then it says connect your line. You don't need to make a lot of points. Really, you only need to make one more point, okay? And that's pretty much it. So let's take a look at another example. So put the equation in y equals mx plus b, which it is. All right, plot the y-intercept. So the y-intercept is the b. So this is the y-intercept right here. So we start at negative 1. Bam. Use slope to create more points. Rise over run. You might need an invisible 1 or make it a fraction. This is already a fraction, so remember slope is right next to the x. And I want to see it circled on your paper and in any work that you hand in to me, by the way. So rise is going to be 2, run is going to be 3. So rise over run, or change your y or change your x. Rise in 2, so you're going to go 1, 2, and then you're going to run 3. 1, 2, 3. And that's going to be your new point. So you're going to rise 1, 2, and then write 1, 2, 3. And that's your new point. And now you're going to connect the line. All right, so once you get two dots, you can make a line. Relatively easy. All right, so now what happens if it's not already y equals mx plus b? So you have to make it equal to y equals mx plus b. And how do you do that? By solving this equation, right? Make a river. And I only want y on this side because I want y equals. So what needs to leave? This 10x needs to go to this side. So it's going to cross my river, and it's going to become what? Negative. So now I have negative 8y equals negative 10x, and this is already plus 24. Now I'm only putting it in this order because it's y equals mx plus b. All right, now y is still not by itself, so what do I need to do? I need to divide everything by what's bothering the y, which is negative 8. Divide everything by negative 8. Okay, so negative 8 divided by negative 8 is positive 1, so that gives me my y equals. And then a negative divided by negative is a positive. And then you have to simplify this too. What goes into 10 and 8? 2 goes in 5 times there, and it goes in 4 times there. So it's going to be positive 5 over 4x. Positive divided by negative is a negative. And then 24 divided by 8 is going to be 3. So you see now it's y equals mx plus b. Okay, so put the equation y equals mx plus b. Plot the y-intercept. So circle slope, circle y-intercept. So circle slope. Slope is next to the x. Circle y-intercept. Bam. Plot the y-intercept, -3. So y-intercept, -3. Okay. Use slope to create more points, rise over run. You might need to make it a fraction or invisible one. It's already a fraction for me, so I don't need to make it that. I just need to count. So it's always rise and then run. So I'm rising 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm running 4.
This is a listening check. Circle example 3.
Once I found another point, I just join it and make it a line. So in your work, I would need to see these 2 points, circled your slope, circled your y-intercept, and you counting just your rise and run. Right, one last example. All right, so again, first step is make it y equals mx plus b. Okay, so I need to take this to the other side. I'm gonna do it down here. So here's my river equal sign. All right, take this to the other side. It's gonna become what? Negative, because it's positive. So it's gonna be, what's left on the left is -2y. Then it's gonna be -3x and whatever's already there, which is -6. Okay. How do I get y by itself? I need to divide both sides by, I need to divide everything by what? -2. So this goes away. So now I am left with y equals, and then negative divided by negative is a positive. Can I simplify 3 and 2? No, so that's going to be 3 over 2x. Negative divided by negative is a positive. 6 divided by 2 is 3. All right, so put it in y equals mx plus b form. Plot the y-intercept. So I need you to circle, I guess I should write it in here. Circle slope and y-intercept. I want no excuses, okay, for you getting this wrong. So circle slope and y-intercept. So my slope is next to the x, circle it. My y-intercept is the number by itself. Okay, then plot the y-intercept. So what's my y-intercept? +3. So 1, 2, 3. Use the slope to create more points by rising and running. You might need to put an invisible one or make it a fraction. It's already a fraction for me, and there's a number, so I'm okay. So I'm just gonna rise, 3 and go over 2. So I'm gonna rise 1, 2, 3, and then go over 1, 2.
This is a listening check. Put a box around example 4.
Now, it just so happened all my examples, I was ending up going positive. Some of them will be going negative, which means instead of going up, you would be going down. And if it was negative on the bottom, which you would never see. So it's really just, if it ends up being negative, you're just going down instead. All right, so you